Hi, Shannon. How's it going today?
Good.
Pretty good. Well, thanks for coming in. I just wanted to chat with you a little bit and check in, see how things are going. How's everything going? How's school? How's life? How's work?
Work's good.
Yeah.
Summer's almost here, so everything's winding down with that. Other than that, everything else is pretty good too.
Everything good's good at home?
Yeah, everything's good at home. Not much to complain about.
No.
Taking it day by day. I've been thinking about going back to school and getting my master's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
I have some reservations about what to do and if I should be thinking about that now.
so it's kind of just a thought in the back of your mind right now?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a thought, but it's a thought that's becoming more than that, so I'm just kind of going back and forth with it.
When you say it's becoming more than that, are there things in your life or your forefront that are pressuring it?
No, not so much. I just realized I've been out of school for a while now and working and realizing that I kind of need to be thinking about going back to school just job-wise. Like, it makes sense. Like, there's nowhere to go from where I'm at right now unless I go back to school.
So there's kind of the need is kind of pushing that idea.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. In regards to the need and job-wise, what are you thinking in regards to, not necessarily school, not necessarily the program, but do you have anything in mind in regards to where that next step is up?
Like,
or forward?
work-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to decide whether or not I should stay with, like, the teaching side of what I've been doing or go kind of a completely different route and get out of teaching and education and go into something different. So it's kind of figuring out, do I want to stay with what I've been doing or do I want to try something new? And now is kind of the right time to maybe try something new, but also the right time to kind of stick with what I've been doing. So,
are there any aspects of your current job that are really pushing you to do something completely different?
I've learned that I like working with kids, so
Okay.
obviously that part of it I want to stick with, like the kid aspect, but at the same time I also learned that I work pretty well on a team, and I would never, as of right now, I would never want to, like, be, like, the lead teacher in any sort of situation, so that's kind of been the reason why I've been, like, thinking of something different than teaching, because I don't, me being weird, like, thinking that I couldn't, like, do my own,
Right.
lead my own class, teach my own class without, like, the co-teaching aspect of
So
it.
we like the kids.
Yes.
We want to keep the kids involved somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And we also like to be the support role.
Yes.
But we don't necessarily have to kind of be the lead. We can find that support role and maybe something else.
Yes, but as long as, like, it's, like, a legitimately, like, lasting kind of not something where you're just kind of, like, stagnant and stuck kind of just doing something that a lot of people do, like, straight out of college. Like, I want to make it more of, like, a career.
So
down the
something
line.
that, would you say it's fair to call it something a little bit more secure, quote-unquote, career-wise?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything, so on the opposite side of that, is there anything that's kind of talking to you or in the back of your mind in regards to wanting to stay?
I mean, yeah, I've been doing what I've been doing. This is my 4th year now. So, like, I've got the experience, and I obviously, like, I wouldn't have stuck with the teaching this long if I didn't, like it, and I didn't think I was, like, good at it in some way. But, like, at the same time, I think it's sort of like a confidence thing. I don't know if I'm, like, 100% confident in my ability to do it, even though, like, obviously I've been given a lot of opportunities over the last couple of years, and people seem to think that I can do it, so I should maybe kind of realize
Stick
that
with
and
it,
stick with it and see if what everyone's been kind of hinting at. And
that makes sense. In regards to the confidence part, do you think that maybe discovering something else or kind of moving into another realm, do you feel like that might give you an opportunity to feel confident in something that maybe potentially, possibly could be a better fit?
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing. Like, I don't want to almost kind of pigeonhole myself into, like, oh, I've been doing teaching for so long and I'm okay at it and people seem to think I'm okay at it, so why not just, like, keep going at it or, you know, see if I'd be good at doing something else as much as I seem to be good at doing what I'm doing now, and
Right.
seeing if I actually like that something else more than what I'm doing now. Like, I don't want to stop myself from that potential to get. At the same time, I don't want to be, like, completely give up on what I seem to already have going for me right now. So.
Right. In regards to something else, is there something that you could put your finger on in regards to what that something else is?
I've been toying around with the idea of going into a child life program.
Okay.
It's working with kids in like hospice settings, whether or not they have terminal illnesses or they're in an environment where, say, like a parent has a terminal illness and you're kind of helping them, not so much with, like, you're not like the nurse or the doctor, but you're helping them, like, with the medical procedures and the fact that you're there giving them support, you're there giving them, what's the word I'm looking for? Giving them kind of ways of coping with the procedures that they're going through and helping them get through, you know, some kids have to be stuck with needles constantly for whatever reason, the disease they have, they have to have blood drawn, like, every other day. Like, you're helping them with coping mechanisms to, like, kind of take the pain away or help distract them and just kind of, like, dealing with, like, the everyday life of living in a hospital 24/7. You're kind of like that liaison too between, like, the doctors and the parents and the doctors and the nurses, and you're part of their medical team, but you're working with the child kind of as, like, a whole and not just to help with the disease or anything like that.
Right.
So I still get that child aspect, but I'm not, like, taking on, like, the role of teacher and teaching them stuff. I'm kind of helping them.
So we have the child aspect.
Yes.
We have the kids in our forefront, and we also have the support role.
Yes.
Which would make perfect sense as to what we.
Yeah.
Talked about earlier.
It's definitely a possibility. Yes.
Okay.
But the problem is, of the two, the one that's easiest right now would be to go back and get my master's in something in education versus something in this, and that's because there are a lot more schools around where I want to be, like, living that offer those kinds of programs versus, like, the Child Life program. It's only at least around here in, like, LA, the only program that's a master's program is at Loma Linda University. It's like a bottom of Big Bear. It's like a 3.5-hour drive from, like, here, so that would be like 7 hours, like, round trip. And I don't know, like, I can't see myself, like,
that's
actually
a lot.
Living.
That's a lot.
That would just be, like, all school and not having any social life, not being able to, like, work full time because I'd be in school full time versus like if I went and did my master's, like, in education, like, I'd be able to still be working during the day. And
So you've done some research on some programs already?
A little bit.
Okay.
Like, I obviously haven't, like, talked to any person involving, like, either program. I've just, like, done, like, online research.
Okay.
And whatnot.
And in regards to teaching, is there a local?
Yeah,
program
there are
that
a
you're
couple.
looking-
I mean, working at a Catholic school, you get the opportunity if you go to like a Jesuit school or a Catholic affiliated, like, university, you can get a certain percentage of your master's program, like, paid for. So obviously, like, Mount St. Mary's or Loyola Marymount University would be, like,
So that's some incentive to do it.
Yeah, and again, so and that I would get something paid for a little bit. I wouldn't have to take out as many loans as I did for undergrad, but at the same time, like if I do the Child Life program, I would be taking out loans for the entire thing. So it's just like there's the money aspect
So there's
to
lots
it too.
of different options. Okay. Why don't we take a minute, and if you're okay with this, why don't we do a small pros and cons list? Because it sounds like there's a lot of different aspects that we all have to kind of manage and think about. And I think maybe putting that on paper real quick would definitely help. So why don't I write real quickly, and we're going to put, so we're going to put teaching over here.
Okay.
And we're going to put child life over here. And we're going to do this. So why don't I start maybe and kind of just summarize a little bit from the information I gathered, just so you can kind of hear it back. And if I'm wrong in any way, shape, or form, please stop me and we can adjust, okay? So teaching, location, affordability, I'm gonna put convenience.
Sure. Yeah.
Because in the regard that it's something that you're currently in, you kind of have the resources.
I've got the experience, so that would like as far as like applications go, you need those recommendations and you need that kind of background to.
Okay, experience. Okay, let's leave that like that. I'm gonna jump over here.
Okay.
Let's do
pros for Child Life.
I'm gonna write setting.
Okay.
And that kind of goes along the lines of the child aspect.
Okay.
Not to say this doesn't, but this is kind of
more where
what we're going towards. And then we have the support. Stability in regards to a job.
Okay.
I was going to say opportunity, but that might be one over here. So we'll leave that off for now. Okay. Cons, obviously, affordability. And then convenience.
You can almost, I guess, say location for it's the opposite. Like that would be the location of that program and what it would take to do that. It's kind of not fun.
Any cons in regards to teaching?
I'm not like 100% sure that I'm the passion there. I don't know. I just even with the it's more affordable. I still can't seem to reason spending that kind of money on something again that I'm not 100% in love with. I guess.
So in regards to the money, do you maybe after a little bit more research? Obviously, this is still preliminary, and we're just talking about this somewhat surface level. In regards to the money, would you feel more convinced, comfortable with spending the money?
For that, yeah.
This?
If I was going to spend the money, I would do it on something that I think I really, really want to go back to school for. So yeah, even though the Child Life program is more expensive, I would be more willing to take out the loans for something like that.
I'm going to put that just to have this as a little reminder.
Okay.
More comfortable on this side, so we have that contrast.
Okay.
Oh, that's not how you spell that. Oh. Sorry, hope you can read my writing.
I can't.
Affordability, convenience, location, unsure, passion. I'm gonna go back to something you said a little bit earlier. This was the convenient thing to do. In regards to opportunity, and you just being a little bit more excited in your gut on this one. Something later down the road, a potential feeling just to be aware of as we're doing this pros and cons list. Feeling stuck could be something, and or missing out.
Okay. I also, for that one too, like con-wise, like of the two, and this is just like my little experience over the last couple of years, like doing or being a teacher's aide and like working with a lot of different teachers, like the burnout is something that is
Definitely
like a definite possibility, and the fact that I'm not, or I don't think I'm as passionate about it, I feel like that burnout could happen faster, which then kind of is like, okay, if the burnout happens 10 years from now, it's like, what kind of career is that? Like, only being able to commit that long and then wanting to get out, like, I'm nervous about that too.
Okay, so that's definitely something to consider and put down on all this in regards to comparison. But I'm glad you're being honest about it. Being honest about it now, especially when we're doing surface level, just a conversation, is definitely helpful. In regards to just things that we talked about, is there anyone that you feel is extremely important in your life in regards to a support system or someone you looked up to, maybe someone that you worked with in the past? After sitting here, and imagine if they were in the room and they were just listening to what we talked about, going over, is there an opinion of someone who is really important to you that could also give you a little bit of a third eye perspective and give you some other advice? What would someone else say in regards to your position?
I think, I mean, and I've talked to quite a lot of people about this already, like especially with the child life. I've talked to a couple like child life specialists.
Okay.
And it's a very competitive job as of right now, which is good because they're needed, but at the same time, it's something that you have to obviously be really passionate about because there are a lot of other people doing it. So I've talked to those people, but as far as, and they've all said, like, if it's something you think you really want to do, obviously start taking classes because they're prereqs before the masters. But like I've talked to my mom, and she's kind of said, you know, whatever you want to do, you should do. But I think going back and getting your master's is kind of the most important thing. So she's kind of been like, as long as you get a master's, that's kind of it. Like, she's like, other than that, like, if it's what you want to do, then you should do it. I think she's kind of leaning more towards wanting me to do the teaching side, just because that's what I'm doing now, that's what I've been doing. There's that opportunity that is there just because I'm already kind of 1 foot in the door already. So, I don't know.
So it sounds like your mom has a little bit of an influence as well.
Yeah, she has an opinion, but it's kind of like she's kind of seen the last couple of years, and she's heard me talk it out, and obviously she wouldn't tell me to, like, do one or the other, but that's just kind of her take on the situation as of right now.
Well, this is a lot to think of.
Yeah.
A lot to think about, a lot of information to muddle back and forth. I think the good part is that you've obviously started doing some research and you have both in front of your mind, and you're being open to both options.
Yeah, it's just pulling the trigger with one or the other and just taking that.
Obviously, that takes time. But gathering the information, making sure that you're going back to this, the most comfortable about what you want to do and not making a very rash, forceful decision, and then obviously being stuck and regretting it later. Gathering much information and talking to even more people to help influence your decision, I think, is only going to help. Did this help?
Yeah, it did. I mean, it put everything, like, as opposed to just, like, pulling stuff out of my head, like, trying to think of all the reasons why I wanted to do one and all the reasons why I would be okay doing the other, and this kind of puts everything on paper and kind of makes it a lot clearer what I'm looking for and what I'm not looking for, so.
Okay, I'm going to give you a little homework assignment.
Okay.
So obviously I want you to take your time with this.
Okay.
Let it all soak in. Let everything that we kind of went over today take a minute to soak in because it's a lot of information.
Yeah.
I would talk to maybe just one or two other people. Just write down a few things that they say, and then we want to put that into comparison as to how this affects things and how you feel about what they said and how you feel about that, how that affects things. So next time we'll come back and we'll talk about this a little bit more, and hopefully maybe have an even deeper level of understanding as to what route we want to go to. And then at that point, what we can do is we can always pull out some more research and other options, opportunities, programs, details in regards to eventually pulling the trigger, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.